Hello, beautiful mothers. Welcome back to the Virtuous Single Mother, where we're on the road to virtue, raising our children in wisdom, faith, and boldness. So, today's message is personal, it's heavy, but it's definitely necessary. I want to talk about something that God has been revealing to me more and more. The enemy is after our children. And one of his biggest tools, ding, 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 TV, media, movies, and video games. Now, I know we all want our kids to be happy, entertained, and relaxed. I'm a single mom. I understand. Sometimes turning on a show feels like a much needed break. Many of these shows are not just innocent entertainment, they are actually spiritual gateways. See, I've been on a deep journey with God, consecration, fasting, praying, and reading His Word. And as the veils have lifted from my eyes, I can now see clearly that the enemy has been normalizing witchcraft, demons, spells, and darkness right in front of our children. So, I wanted to give a real example. One of the shows that I absolutely love, The Princess and the Frog. Still to this day, Princess Tiana is one of my favorite characters. Why? Because she was the first black Disney princess. That was a powerful representation, something we never seen in Disney before, even as me being a child. But even as a little girl watching it, something always felt off to me. There was this eerie feeling in my spirit every time Voodoo was mentioned. Every time the Shadow Man came on the screen, as I got older and began growing spiritually, I realized why. It was not innocent, it was intentional. The entire movie had deep rooted themes of witchcraft, voodoo, and spiritual manipulation. And being from New Orleans myself, I know firsthand that witchcraft is very much normalized down there. And don't get me wrong, it's not just The Princess and the Frog. Let's talk about different movies that I have saw with my son. For instance, Hotel Transylvania, where vampires, mummies, and witches are made to look like family friendly, lovable characters. There's a scene where a father calls his daughter his little voodoo doll. Another movie that I've seen with my son is Coco. It's a beautiful story of ancestry, but one deeply tied to talking to the dead and crossing into the spiritual realm. These movies are not just storytelling, they are strategies designed to make witchcraft friendly, to make demons cute, to make rebellion fun. I'll never forget Derek Prince, a powerful man of God I recently started listening to, said something that shook me. He said, one of the easiest and most dangerous portals into a child's life is television. Why? Because a child's mind is like a sponge. The enemy knows that God said in his word that children are a reward from him. So Satan wants to target them early. He uses the screen to plant seeds of confusion, rebellion, trauma, perversion, and darkness, all under the disguise of entertainment. Parents, especially single mothers, we are the watchmen over our homes. We can't afford to be distracted. Yes, it's hard. Yes, we're tired, but we must stay alert. Actually sit down and watch what your child is watching. Research the shows, read reviews, ask God for discernment, and if your spirit is unsettled, turn it off. In my home, what I started doing was I started pleading the blood of Jesus over the TV, over the iPad, over the phone. I anoint the doors, the windows, the screens. I make crosses on every entry point. I say, enemy, you are not welcome here, because these devices, they are portals, and Satan doesn't care about age. He will creep into any crack we leave open. So, what can you do? We can fast for our children. We can ask God to cover and protect their minds. We can pray over their devices. Yes, even the iPad. We can talk to them, tell them why we're turning something off, teach them the truth. One day, my son asked me why I turned off Hotel Transylvania after we had already watched it numerous times before. I just told him because that show says something that doesn't please God. He was confused, maybe even disappointed, but I explained it to him. And that is parenting, not pleasing, but also protecting. Most definitely incorporate Christian alternatives. There are plenty of faith-based cartoons, Bible story animations, and worship music for kids that plant truth instead of lies. And another thing that we can do is set boundaries. Create screen time rules. Don't let media be the babysitter. Sanctify our house every chance that we can get. Ask God to reveal any unclean spirit in your space and get rid of it. You don't have to be a perfect mom, but you do have to be a present one. And in this generation, presence looks like prayer, awareness, and discernment. A lot of it. So I pray this message opens your eyes like it did mine. Let's not normalize what God calls unclean. Let's not entertain what God calls detestable. It's going to be a process. Please pray to God about any and everything that I'm saying. If this blessed or convicted you, don't scroll past, like, comment, share, and tag another mother. We are in this together. This is spiritual warfare, and our kids are worth fighting for.